Hey everyone, I'm Jack Ferdman from Rewatching Oscar. Today is September 29th, so I'd like to take a few moments to honor a very important part of the history of cinema. Today we celebrate National Silent Movie Day, a time to honor the films that gave birth to this art form that we truly love. Long before synchronized sound and dialogue arrived in the late 1920s, silent cinema was already telling stories of profound beauty, excitement, and humor. These works were far from incomplete curiosities. They were complete, vibrant, and groundbreaking, laying the foundations for everything we see on screen today. From the very beginning, silent films demonstrated the power of moving images to capture imagination. The Lumiere brothers' arrival of a train at La Ciotat in 1895 reportedly startled audiences very early on, while Georges Méliès's A Trip to the Moon in 1902 proved cinema could conjure fantasy and spectacle. By the 1910s, filmmakers were transforming the medium into a true storytelling art. D.W. Griffith's The Birth of a Nation, despite its deeply problematic racial politics, pioneered techniques such as cross-cutting and dynamic camera movement that remain essential today. His film Intolerance, weaving together four separate narratives across centuries, showed the ambition and scope film could achieve. But the silent era wasn't just about technical breakthroughs. It was also a golden age of artistry and unforgettable personalities. Charlie Chaplin gave the world The Tramp, blending slapstick with social commentary in The Kid, The Gold Rush, and later City Lights, proving that silent storytelling could be deeply moving as well as funny. Buster Keaton's The General and Sherlock Jr. pushed physical comedy and visual invention to breathtaking levels. Harold Lloyd's daredevil clock-hanging stunt in Safety Last remains one of cinema's most iconic images. These comedies showed that humor could transcend borders, requiring no translation, just movement, timing, and imagination. Internationally, silent cinema blossomed with innovation. In Germany, F.W. Murnau's Nosferatu in 1922 brought nightmarish expressionism to life, while his American film Sunrise became one of the most acclaimed works in film history, blending visual poetry with emotional storytelling. Fritz Lang's Metropolis in 1927 envisioned a futuristic city with stunning visual design that continued to influence science fiction films like Blade Runner and The Matrix. In the Soviet Union, Sergei Eisenstein mastered the art of monologue with Battleship Potemkin in 1925. Its Odessa Step sequence still taught in every film school as a masterclass in tension and editing. Other nations made indelible contributions. Sweden's Victor Shortstrom gave us The Phantom Carriage in 1921, a film Ingmar Bergman later cited as a direct influence on his work. France's Abel Gance delivered epic innovation in Napoleon in 1927, experimenting with rapid cutting and triple screen projection decades before widescreen became the norm. In Japan, Tenosuke Kinugasa's avant-garde's A Page of Madness in 1926 shattered conventions with surreal imagery, foreshadowing experimental cinema to come. Silent films were a truly global phenomenon, each culture using the language of images to tell stories that audiences anywhere could understand. When sound entered cinema with The Jazz Singer in 1927, the industry changed overnight. Some actors could not adapt, while others transitioned seamlessly. But even as dialogue became dominant, the lessons of silence endured. Modern filmmakers from Alfred Hitchcock to Martin Scorsese, Stanley Kubrick to Bong Joon-ho have all drawn inspiration from the visual storytelling of silent cinema. Hitchcock, who began in the silent era, never lost his belief that movies should be understood even if seen with the sound turned off. Michel Hazanavicius's The Artist, a black and white silent tribute, won the Academy Award for Best Picture in 2011, showing the enduring power of the form. And filmmakers like Guillermo del Toro and Damien Chazelle openly reference silent era aesthetics in their work. The influence can be felt everywhere, in the reliance on visual cues in modern blockbusters, the montage sequences in action films, the dreamlike imagery in horror, and the physicality of performers who know that gestures often speak louder than words. Even today's streaming audiences, accustomed to global cinema, where language barriers exist, are rediscovering that pure visual storytelling pioneered by silent films remains universal. On this National Silent Movie Day, we don't just celebrate nostalgia, we recognize the beating heart of cinema. Silent films remind us that images alone can make us laugh, cry, and dream. They prove that the essence of film is not words, but vision, movement, rhythm, and emotion. Every cut, every close-up, every breathtaking image in today's movies owes a debt to the era of silence. Silent films may not speak, but their voices echo through all of cinema.